What's going on, man? It's Stokely from Sauce on Lane. And, I don't make the best decisions at all. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just giving you my opinion for the most part. I'm not, proselytizing or preaching or any of that. I'm really talking to myself for the most part. Trying to save my own hair. Trying to save my own health, try to save my own life, try to save my own peace, and this is kind of like a journal of me, talking to myself about those things. Yesterday I went into the supermarket, saw a guy riding one of those supermarket electric scooters. And he wasn't an old man. He was probably in his 40s. But, he looked a little withered. He looked a little like, he'd been through it, But he was riding the electric scooter. And he had at least, I would say, 5 2-liter bottles of Sprite. And another 5 2-liter bottles of Coca-Cola in his cart that was on the front of the electric scooter. And I wanted to say something to him. I wanted to say, listen, man, that stuff is not gonna benefit you. You're already in a scooter. You have to use the electric scooter to get around. That's not gonna get you into your peak health. I don't know what all his health conditions are, but drinking soda is definitely not going to get you to that place. I don't even like to see people give kids soda. I don't know. I haven't had soda in my house in 5 years, and I don't know, man. I like soda. I do like soda. I do drink some soda sometimes on a rare occasion when I'm really craving for sugar. But I immediately feel guilty. I feel like my skin is tingling. I feel like my acne, I start to, worried about my acne, and I start feel like the acid is too much for my stomach. It just starts creeping me out when I have it. But sometimes I like to indulge in a little soda. I typically don't even finish the can though. And I try to dilute it with water. It's just whatever. It's like, it's like trying to drink poison and be safe about it, It's like alcohol, which I have no thirst or I have no craving for alcohol at all, fortunately. But I can't really, it's not appropriate to speak to a stranger and tell them where they could do something better, because they'll take it as correction, and people take correction as disrespect, and people take offense to correction, so it's not really my place. It's not I think it's my moral responsibility. I think it's my responsibility as a human being to try to help other people. That's what I would like to do. But it's in the environment, we live in a very disrespectful, rebellious type of culture, a very sensitive kind of culture. I'm a very sensitive person myself. I don't like correction. I don't like discipline myself. I don't like to be disciplined. I don't like to I don't like to discipline myself, and I don't like to be disciplined. I don't like to be corrected. But I do see the necessity for it. I do see the need for it, and I do see the benefits of it. I do see the benefits of structure. I do see the benefits of discipline, but I don't necessarily have the willpower to fully subscribe to what I know is right. And I guess the gentleman drinking the soda probably already knows that, and he's having the same struggle. He's probably emotionally drinking the soda, just like I probably stress drink the sugar, or I feel like I need to treat myself, which I've spoken about at length already. So yeah, seeing him with those bottles of soda kind of, it made me think, like, how can you, what can you do? What can you do for somebody that's a grown person that it's not really gonna be welcoming and receptive to your 2 cents? I don't know him from anywhere to initiate a conversation. Listen, I can't even discipline myself not to do certain things, so I totally understand. The next thing I was thinking about this morning is I was talking to one of my relatives, and he has a lot of good intentions regarding helping his community in a grandiose Martin Luther King, Gandhi kind of way. And I've heard philosophies that say the desire to help is rooted in the desire to control. So I'm wondering, is there any point to it? I'm wondering some other things about it, not regarding him, but in general, in regards to trying to save people. Everyone's gonna die. And I was having a conversation with Mr. Ace about correction and helping people. The same discussion, the same topic regarding telling people things that could help them, that they might find offensive, or they might find as a correction, or they might find as a diss, when your intent is just to help them. And I said to him, it's unfortunate that you can't tell someone something that's going to save them. And he said, you can't save anybody. Everybody's going to die. But then I said, you can probably improve their quality of life, extend their quality of life. I was just looking at, I opened up a construction industry book the other day, and it was talking about reducing stress, getting sunlight, getting exercise, because it was talking, the topic was back pain. I forgot what the statistic was, but it was something to the effect of, I'm gonna say I don't want to exaggerate to prove my point, so I'm gonna say on the low end, it's 1 out of 4 people complain of back problems. And I've had issues with a little sciatica pain. It wasn't a back issue. It was, it's a pain that goes down your butt cheek. And through lowering the amount of sugar intake that I indulge in, I've been pain free. I've been free of that pain. I've been free of that pain for the past 3 years, unless I indulge in a lot of sugar, and then that sciatica pain comes right back. So you can handle certain things when you're young, but later on, matter of fact, you don't necessarily handle them when you're young. You're not even paying them any attention. You just think that you got some pain and it's like nothing, whatever. But there's people out here with information. There's people out here that want to help other people and give them advice that they don't even take themselves, but still advice just the same. They want to give them advice, but the recipient is not receptive. Is not open to it. And one of my neighbors told me a story. He was going to the Coliseum in Queens, and he saw a group of young men, which this is another risky activity here. And he said to one of them, "Hey, do you know yet? Your underwear is showing. Basically, you're sagging your pants till your underwear is showing. Do you know that your underwear is showing?" And the guy said, "Do you know that you're fat?" So the kid was offended by him pointing out that he was sagging his pants to the point where his underwear was showing. He was offended by that correction from an older person, and he retorted and replied and clapped back with pointing out his obesity or pointing out his. But they both could have learned from that situation, because my neighbor, I drove past his house the other day. We're not neighbors anymore. I don't live in that neighborhood, but I drove past his house the other day. I mean, I've seen him a few months before, but he just began to grow and gain even more weight, to the point where now he has a handicap sign in his vehicle. And that's very tragic. I knew him when he was slim. So what happened to him was he got injured at work, and he spent a significant amount of time recovering from that injury. But then, he got better and he got into bike riding. He used to ride his bike, get a lot of exercise, yeah. But then, similar to my friend that passed away the other day, he was a very anxiety-prone, complaining person. He complained about everything. He complained about just about everything. He's also a person that's meticulous about being clean. He's also a collector of music. He has a lot of good qualities, but he has a lot of bad qualities. Well, not a lot of bad qualities, but he has that same, I just want to point out that same quality. Not a lot of bad qualities. I want to take that back. He has that same issue of worrying, of anxiety, of irritability, of kind of being cantankerous. But he's also a generous person and a helpful person, I remember that, my mother's car broke down. I think he gave her a ride home. I mean, he'll help you in a lot of different ways. He'll help you whichever way he can. He will, But yeah, he has a similar issue as my friend who passed away the other day. A lot of stress, a lot of dwelling on the past, a lot of living in the past, which are things that I share with them. I see myself in them, because I gravitate towards these people because they have qualities that I kind of identify with. I live in the past a lot. I have a anger issue myself, because I choose to express my... Anyway, I'm talking too much about myself, but I express my sorrow, my disappointment, my all of my negative feelings. I channel them into anger, and then once in a while, I'll just break out crying. If I hear a sad song, I'll just start breaking out crying. So it's I can only assume that they do the same. I can only assume that they do the same, or maybe even more. So, I think the anxiety, the anger, the disappointment in oneself, the self-loathing, the madness at the world. I guess being African American probably adds to that. It adds to why we probably indulge in eating so much sugar and salt and garbage like that. That would make sense. It would make sense why we indulge in such spicy foods and want the most sweet stuff and, etc., etc., etc. This guy took my parking spot. So, it plays a part into it. But not being able to deal with your stress, not being able to be calm, is detrimental to your health. Like I said, my buddy, the more he became stressed, it seems, or the more he became incensed about just about everything, the more he grew in mass, to the point now he has a handicap sign on his vehicle. It's very unfortunate. He's not an old man either. It shouldn't happen to anybody, but he's not an old man. He is about in his 40s, maybe just reaching 50, but he's in his 40s. I remember when he was young, he didn't have any gray hairs. I've known him since probably about 2000, and early 2000s, because I moved to that neighborhood in 99. So I knew him probably about since 2005, when he first got injured on a job and was on disability, and he was getting paid to do nothing. I'm keeping his anonymity. Paid to do nothing. He took his money and bought some old car that he wanted from his childhood days and put himself in debt regarding that. That added to his stress. He's very meticulous about his cars. That's another guy meticulous about his cars. And you see me, I like my cars. But my car is always dirty. That's my only difference. But hey, I just want to tell you, don't stress yourself out. Don't worry about the past. You're not living there anymore. You can't go back there. All those things those people said to you or did to you, they done it already. It's done. Absorb it. Take it as a lesson. Bounce back from it. Escape. And grow. Grow. Keep growing. Keep learning. You don't know everything. Manage your stress. Number one. Stop complaining. Nobody cares. Start taking action. Because even if you complain to someone, you get to blow off some steam, but they can't do anything for you, really. So, you conserve your energy, direct it towards escaping the condition that you don't like. He said he was going to move to Atlanta so many times. My buddy who's got the handicap sign now. And my friend who just passed away, he said he was going to move to North Carolina so many times. They wanted to escape. They knew that they needed to escape. They were going to try to escape the conditions in order to improve their conditions. They never acted on it. They just stayed in the same situation which they were complaining about. And just basically cooked in their anxiety, cooked in their anger, cooked in their disappointment, cooked in their own juices, if you could call it, like a slow boiling frog, until it overcame them, So, try to save yourself. One thing you can do is coping skills. Let's learn how to get rid of the anger. Let's learn how to not self-medicate with harmful agents, alcohol, drugs, sugar, negative speech, negative company, Thanks for listening.